And this 3 o'clock hour, we continue to follow breaking news now out of Dade City, where crews are on the scene of a large structure fire, an industrial fire here. Take a look at Sky 9 here high above. This is in Dade City on Citrus County Drive. It's the Dade City Business Center. It's a mixed use area, and crews have been fighting this fire for a while now. We want to go on the phone. Pasco County Fire Rescue Corey Deerdorf joins us now. Thanks for joining us, Corey. When did this call come in? How long have crews been out here? And it's from several agencies are helping fight this fire.
Yeah, good afternoon. We received a call just about 12:30 this afternoon. It was in one of the businesses here at the Dade City Business Center out here off of, like you said, Citrus Country Drive out here in Dade City, just north of downtown. And when we arrived on scene, we had a heavy fire in one of the businesses. And unfortunately, the way this building is designed, it's a common roof. So there's nothing really to stop the fire, and so it quickly spread to a couple other businesses within the same building. We did call mutual aid, and they're on scene from Zephyr Hills Fire Rescue, as well as Hernando County Fire Rescue and Plant City Fire Rescue. They all brought some ladder trucks out here as well. So we have several ladder trucks on scene, as well as Pasco County Fire Rescue. And in all, we have about 30 different units here on scene from fire rescue and emergency management, all carrying, 3, 4, 5 people, depending on what type of unit it is out here. So we have a very large presence out here in Dade City. The column of smoke you can see all the way from 52 and 75. So it's definitely something that everyone going home this afternoon is going to see. And I'm sure as you're seeing from Sky 9, we're making some decent progress right now on the building, but there's still some combustibles inside, and it still continues to move throughout the building. So we're doing what we can to reposition a couple ladder trucks to try to stay ahead of it, to try to mitigate as much damage as we possibly can.
Yeah, as we're talking, Sky 9 is high above here. We see those ladder trucks and just the constant stream of water that has been poured onto this fire. And when we started watching it, Corey, maybe 30, 40 minutes ago, it was thick black smoke and a lot of flame. It's still going strong. You can see the smoke is a little bit lighter, and we still see some flames. How are they doing getting a handle on it, would you say?
So right now we're doing our best to get a handle on it. Unfortunately, we're in what's called as a defensive attack, meaning that we don't have anyone inside. And the reason that is, as you were saying from Sky 9, you can see roof has collapsed in part of the areas. Some of the walls in between aren't steel walls. They're wood walls that, can burn. So for our firefighter safety, we had to pull everything out and do what we call as an aerial attack. This is what you're looking at right now from those ladder trucks up above. Unfortunately, when we have to do that type of attack, it definitely slows us down as far as making progress on the fire. We've made pretty good dents in it right now. There's no life safety in danger at this moment. If you're around the area, you're going to see the smoke, but there's no life safety dangers at this moment. So we're being very meticulous and trying to get ahead of it and stop it. But due to the combustibles inside the building, because this is a mixed-use industrial building, you can imagine all different kinds of chemicals, metals, and so on, wood, so on and so forth. We're just kind of staying ahead of it. And you can see a little plume of black smoke coming up there to the north side of the building, as you're looking from Sky 9, and it's just moving a little further north. So what we're trying to do is reposition a couple assets to get in front of that and then knock it down. So it's a very stubborn fire, and unfortunately the type of attack that we have to take slows that progress down. But we are making decent progress on the fire, and we're working to complete it. But this is definitely something, as people go home on their rush hour, as people are moving around, they're going to definitely see it for a majority of the night. And so if you don't have to be down in this area, there's a lot of trucks coming in and out. We're getting relief crews in. We're bringing people out. So just be careful of emergency vehicles, as this is going to be an extended operation through the evening.
Oh, certainly is. You can see that. You mentioned those combustibles. It looks like, we can tell by looking at it, I know there are several businesses involved, but it looks like some sort of a scrap yard or a metal yard. We see the recycling, it looks like, to the side. Do you know what sort of chemicals we might be talking about that they're dealing with here?
So our emergency management personnel are on scene right now, and they're dealing directly with our command to get with these businesses. What these businesses are required to do is to carry material data sheets inside of their businesses. So if something like this happens, we have an idea exactly what is in there. I know our command knows. I haven't been privy to that information as of yet. Sure. But I was told that it was a mixed use, to the south side of the building, what looks like a scrapyard. There's a lot of car rims and stuff piled up
Yes.
all the way through. So several different businesses affected, and all the industrial type, which always keeps us on our toes because of the different type of materials that may be used to manufacture whatever goods are inside the business. So we do have a very heavy presence of emergency management that's been in contact with the state if we needed any other assets. But right now we're looking pretty good here on scene. But there is still a lot of that active fire, and due to the type of operations we're having to do right now, it's just going to take us a while to get the rest of the way out.
Yeah, we can still see those flames, so certainly still going pretty good there, Corey. Most importantly here, there's been no reports of any injuries. That's still the case.
Yes, we are very, very thankful when this fire started up. Employees helped each other get out of the building. We did a quick evacuation of the actual business that was on fire and the surrounding businesses. We were able to get everybody out very, very quickly and get them accounted for. So thankfully, there was no injuries. Thankfully, there's nobody missing. And thankfully, it's kind of contained to where it is now, and it's not continuing to spread at a very fast rate.
All right. Well, Corey Deerdorf with Pasco County Fire Rescue. I know you and your guys there have a lot going on, and 30 other agencies that are helping respond to it as well. We have a crew there to continue to get updates from you, but we appreciate you joining us this afternoon to fill us in on this huge fire happening in Dade City. Thank you very much, Corey.
Absolutely, anytime.
All right, so we'll just continue. We'll take another live look here. You can see the roof. He was talking about how the roof, they share a common roof. It's a mixed-use building with more than one business in it. And because they share a common roof, they've also now shared this fire. And they're in defensive mode. They're not able to get in there for a variety of reasons, not only because the roof has collapsed in places, but also because they know they're dealing with some chemicals and some combustible material that they just aren't going to be able to send their firefighters in there. They're in defensive mode to try and knock that fire down, which they continue to just constantly stream the water out there from the ladder trucks. But you can see the flames still visible here. And as Corey Deerdorf was telling us, as you drive home on the interstate near Pasco County, Dade City, also a 301 runs real close to this business park, you are going to see a lot of smoke in the area, and this is what that is from. It's going to take a while. They're going to be here for several hours knocking this down, and then it'll be many more hours after that. They'll have to keep an eye for all the hot spots. But again, this is happening in Dade City, and there are not any injuries reported here, so that is the good news. But a very difficult fire here that they have to fight that involves chemicals as well inside of this building. We have a Spectrum Bay News 9 crew there. We will continue to update you on this commercial structure fire. New this Friday afternoon, another high-profile official shown the door by Governor Ron DeSantis. This afternoon, the governor suspended the Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections, Susan Booker. He called her handling of the recounts incompetent. The governor announced that local attorney Wendy Link will take over the position for the next 2 years, but will not seek re-election to it. Booker came under fire during the November election when her office failed to meet a recount deadline in the highly contested governor and U.S. Senate races.
Palm Beach County stands alone in that level of ineptitude. They've truly been the keystone cops of elected administration.
Now, this is the second official in South Florida that the governor has shown the door. Just last week, he suspended Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel. The governor criticized the Broward Sheriff's Office for its response to the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. And the Florida Democratic Party Chair Terry Rizzo called the governor's recent moves a, quote, gross overreach and a politically motivated move to consolidate power and obstruct the will of the people. Now, this is the second elections official in South Florida to face fallout from Florida's recounts. Broward County Supervisor of Elections was suspended by Governor Rick Scott. Brenda Snipes fought back in court against that suspension, and last week a judge ruled that her rights were violated because she was not allowed to make her case before being suspended. But the judge did not have the authority to reinstate her. Governor Scott suspended Snipes for, quote, incompetence and neglect of duty, citing problems during the recount, including 2,000 misplaced ballots and missed deadlines. Up next on Spectrum Bay News 9, are you ready for the Gasparilla Children's Parade this weekend? After the break, we have everything you need to know about how to safely swashbuckle your way around Tampa tomorrow.